Hi, it's Dr. Lorraine Maida from Vibrance for Life. And so many people ask me, what is it that you keep in your medicine cabinet? I have supplements that I keep in my cabinet on demand. And I'm going to share that with you because there's some things I just can't live without. One of my big favorites is Adrenovive. Adrenovive is an adrenal adaptogenic formula. So if you're under a period of chronic stress, that's one of my go-tos. I don't have to take it all the time, thankfully, and it makes your cells more resilient to stress. There's no such thing as adrenal fatigue. It's that your brain stops responding to the signals of high cortisol. It's like a nagging voice that just won't shut off, so your brain just turns it off. Cortisol can kill your cells. It's a major ager. It raises blood pressure, pulse, blood sugar, breaks down muscle, breaks down bone. So what this does is Adrenovive revives your adrenals, and it makes you more resilient to stress. So it doesn't change the stress. It doesn't change your reaction to stress, but it makes your cells healthier with this onslaught of cortisol. The other thing that I always keep in my cabinet, because I don't have to take it all the time, but you never know when you're going to need it, is Saccharomyces boulardii. There are several companies that I like their formula. I just happen to have this one here now. If ever you go on an antibiotic, there's something called antibiotic-associated diarrhea. That is, the Saccharomyces is the type of probiotic to take while you're on the antibiotic and 2 to 4 weeks after you finish the antibiotic. That is a spore-based probiotic, and it also is impervious to the antibiotics, because if you took a regular probiotic, your antibiotics would kill them. Not that you shouldn't take that in between antibiotic doses, just know they're not going to last, but Saccharomyces will survive, and it's also very healthy for your gut. It helps with the immunoglobulins that fight infection, and it prevents antibiotic-associated diarrhea. So always keep that on hand. This is my all-time favorite, Viracid. Viracid, if you take this at the very first sign of any kind of upper respiratory tract infection or sinus infection, cold, flu, sneezing, it works like magic. So one of the stories is that my husband and I were on vacation, and he had fever and shaking chills, and I told him to take the Viracid. So 1 every hour for 6 hours for 3 days. A few hours later, I came down with fever and shaking chills, and here we are on vacation. So I started the Viracid. The next morning, after taking 6 of these, we went bike riding. It was fabulous, and my patients report some of the same results. You have to take it right away, though. Now, one time I didn't have it on hand. Not good. I ended up taking it late, but I took it with this, Ganoderma Spores. This is reishi mushroom spores. They're antibacterial, antiviral, antiparasitic, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-cancer. It's been studied for about 2,000 years. So when I took 2 of these together, because I had waited about 6 hours before taking the Viracid, like magic. It was unbelievable. So this also take 1 every hour while you're acutely ill, and it was fantastic. Now sometimes I work out too much, or sometimes I have some muscle aches and pains, and I don't usually take any medications, but this is my go-to, Curcuplex 95 Zymogen. It is such a great anti-inflammatory. I use it in place of any kind of ibuprofen, and it works like a charm. And when I had somebody with Lyme disease, you have to take double what's stated on the label, 2 twice a day. Knock the pain right out. So no more muscle aches and pains. I've given this as gifts to people who have hurt themselves or worked out too hard, and they love it. So that's one of my go-tos. Now, this is something I rarely need, but some people do, Magnesium Citrate. If you're constipated, or if you get muscle tension and you need to relax, this is wonderful. It's one of the best magnesiums. to take for removing your bowels. Most of the over-the-counter stuff that you buy in the regular pharmacies or health food stores are magnesium oxide. Yes, it'll make you go, but it's not that well absorbed. Magnesium citrate is so much better absorbed. Plus, you have to realize that a lot of natural products out in nature, there's lead and arsenic and cadmium in the soil, and it makes its way into especially herbal and mineral formulas. So many of them don't test for metals. Many of them are not so pure. That's why I only recommend companies that I know they test the products, they stand by the quality of their products, and they make sure that they're free of metals. Here's another go-to, silver psyllium. This is wonderful. It's a liquid, and you can use it to make a sinus rinse if you have a sinus infection. Works like a charm. There's a special recipe I have, and if you sign up for Supplement Savvy, it's a free educational program that will tell you how to use these things and how to take supplements for chronic conditions, and also how to get them, because they're not easy to get. They're usually only sold through healthcare professionals, but how you can get them at a discount. So silver psyllium, if you have any gastrointestinal problems, teaspoon twice a day. If you have a sore throat, you can gargle with it. If you have any viral infections or parasitic infections or GI infections, this works beautifully, and it's a go-to. I always have this in my cabinet. Those are the main ones that I just keep around. You don't have to take them every day, but having them handy is very, very helpful, because you never know when something will strike. And if you can't get them right away, because you have to usually order them or have them mailed to you, they're not readily available. And we do have them in our office, so I'm never without. So you should never be without. I would recommend you have a stock of certain things that you may be prone to, so you're always prepared. That's all for now. Thanks for joining me.